Hey, welcome back. I got to the boss again, so I'll beat him this time for sure. Use your fireballs. I leveled up too once more. It shouldn't be that hard, but I needed to increase my defense because he could just one-shot me. He was one-shotting me. Thunderbolt? What do I do with this one? It doesn't really do much. I'm not gonna do the Thunderbolt anymore. I'll just use Mallow to give me honey syrups. Six. He was doing 14 before. This is gonna be too easy. Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do it. Well, let's just hit him. Okay, I did have notes. I was gonna talk about the stock market. I didn't really have a note about it, but when I'm at work, I mentioned this before, but like because of the virus, they moved my desk. I moved to a desk that's like separated from. I used to sit like kind of right next to. She's kind of like my boss. She's like the office manager. So I was sitting actually so that she could see my computer screen like directly. I didn't really mind. It's like, what am I gonna do? Like, go on Reddit? I wouldn't do that. While I'm at work. But so what I do now is I just kind of I check stocks a lot. Like when I just have a 5-minute break. And I read articles about stocks and stuff. I don't know why. It feels like if my boss caught me doing that, it wouldn't be that bad. It was like, oh, I'm just reading an article about stocks. So it's like, I'm kind of like an accountant, so it's like kind of related to my job, right? And it's a pretty interesting time for stocks. I talked about that before. Look out. 16. That was one-shotting me before. I was doing like 28 damage. Okay, cool. This is easy. Keep using your fireballs. Yay, I think we won. Okay, cool. Well, I mentioned before I was gonna short. I was gonna do a short. I might still do it, but I'm not gonna do $5,000. That's crazy. I might do 500. But like the day after I I recorded that episode where I'm like, oh, this QQQ index it keeps going up and up and up. It's got to come down eventually. The next week it came down, but there's this term. I mean, it didn't really come down that much, and there's this term that they use. They're like, oh, it's in the correction territory. We're like, oh, it went up a little bit too high, but now it's gonna just go into correction, and it's gonna fall down a little bit, but then it's gonna stay steady, and then maybe eventually it'll go back up. I don't know, the more I read these stock articles, I'm like, there's something like immature about it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, seems like childish, or like, I don't know. I mean, it is just like speculating and like trading. It's like when you're a kid and you're trading Pokemon cards, like, oh, this card's worth a lot, and I want that card, and oh, this card, how'd you get that card? They come up with like all these fancy words for everything, but it's like, it's dumb. It's just like people trading Pokemon cards, that's it. It's the best way. I don't know, you have all this money like you're just sitting on, and you're like, I gotta invest it, right? It's the best way to get returns on your money instead of just sitting on it. But then it's also like you're at the mercy of these like idiots and trading these stocks. Like, people can just like feel anxious one day and just the stock market can just crash, and just, all my money's gone. Just because people felt like not good about something. I have to go back to the Mushroom Kingdom, I think. The songs in this game are so catchy that they're getting stuck in my head even though I haven't heard them. I'm just like remembering them from seeing the images. Like if I'm not wearing the headphones, it means I'm not listening to the music, because the game audio is already being recorded. So if I turn the game audio on, you hear like an echo. Did you just hear it? That's probably annoying, so I don't do that. I guess that was it for the stock market. That was it. That was my whole note. It is kind of fun. I don't know. To be like, oh, what's the? I have to think more about like what index am I gonna invest in next, because you can't invest everything in. What I have right now is I have a Roth IRA, and I have like $10,000 in, but it's only tracking the S&P. I put it all into this one index. I was like, oh, maybe you should diversify. So I'm just trying to think about what should I diversify? Should I do bonds? So yesterday I put $1,000 into this bond index called AGG, which is supposed to be more stable than like a S&P index, because it's like a bond thing, but like you don't get as many returns on it, but it's not as risky. So it's called AGG, iShares Core Aggregate Bond ETF. And today it dropped 14 cents. Oh no. I lost 12%. That's actually a lot. Oh no, it's 0.12%. I thought it was 1.2%. 0.12 is not that bad. The next thing I'm waiting for is for the stock market to crash again, because it's gonna happen. I think. I feel pretty confident that it's gonna. It might drop down to like however, just like the beginning of the year, or like the end of last year, however high it was then. It's probably gonna go back down to that level. That's my guess. And then of course, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna hit the fan eventually, where like we're gonna realize, whoop, the GDP dropped pretty harshly and we are just kind of like running the economy on this funny money that the Fed is printing. I don't know if you really have to kill everybody, but I think you just go up here. Oh. I had another tiny note. What was it? Oh, I read an article, I think it was New York Times. It was pretty interesting. It was about the election. Usually when people are like worried about stuff, I'm like, oh, you're overreacting, but this article seemed to be pretty realistic. I could see it happening. They were talking about how what happens if in this election, on election day, Donald Trump wins, or is winning on election day. Like the end of election night, he's winning. But they haven't counted a big majority of mail-in votes yet. They just haven't had time. I guess it takes longer to do that. So you can't technically call it yet. But Donald Trump has been kind of sowing discord about mail-in ballots a lot. He's been like, oh, it's fraudulent, and like millions of people are going to be voting illegally with these mail-in ballots. So he's gonna... I can very easily see this happening. He's winning on election night. He's gonna say, I won. And he won't accept any results after that. Even if... The problem is a lot of Democrats, more Democrats are going to vote in by mail than Republicans, so it's probably even, it might look like he's won. Unless Biden wins by like a huge margin, but like the polls are like, it's only 8%, so. It's very possible. So what's going to happen? I don't know. I guess a lot of people are really worried about that happening. I'm more like, I kind of want to see what would happen if that did happen. I'm kind of morbidly curious about it. Like, it would be pretty interesting. It would also be a constitutional crisis that might destroy our democracy, but it would be interesting. Ah, stupid. Definitely be interesting. I had more to say about it. Go, 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 go. I don't know. You can read this guy what I think about. It could happen. It's just it's a mess. It's a total mess. I don't know. I guess it really does depend on just like how close it is. If it turns out that like oh, my air just went off and now it's kind of quiet in here. Maybe I should just end for today. Why did my air turn off? Oh, it's back on. Okay. I kind of want to just finish this cutscene. Wait, is this a boss? Oh. Uh-oh. I was not prepared for this. Did I save? I hope so. I think I did. Okay. I guess I'll fight this guy tomorrow. I didn't remember that you just, like, kind of fought him. Okay. Maybe I'll talk more about the thing tomorrow. Or maybe not. Well, the one thing is like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's like it's frustrating because there's no evidence that like what the president says is right. Like he's like, oh, if mail-in ballots are counted, it's going to be massive fraud. There's no evidence for that from what I've been seeing. Yes, it's possible that you could vote twice. But if you do, there's like a huge... You could go to like jail for that. Who wants to go to jail to vote twice? To get an extra vote? I don't understand how it would be possible to have massive voter fraud and for it to not be obvious. The only way to change an election is to change like tens of thousands of votes. At least. How would it be possible to do that without it being obvious that that's happened? And like somebody catching it. So many votes. I don't know. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Vote. Bye.